Hi, everyone. Holy cow. All right. So we are looking at May 9th, and I don't know what to call it. Our financial situation here in the well, globally, but what kind of game is F-45 playing? I don't even have words. No words. He does the tariffs. He threatens the tariffs. The global market crashes. Is it like he's just sitting in his office laughing? Ha ha ha, everybody's losing money, trillions. And for those who lost half of their, or even more than half of their 401ks, that's like a trillion to them. Just so disheartening. It reminds me of the dream I had in 2016 when in my dream, I said, who destroyed our infrastructure? And I look, and then all of a sudden I'm looking on stage and there's Felon 45 on stage with Putin and someone else. But I've already shared that dream a million times. I don't need to do it again, but I'm telling you, it's just like, all right, what's the rest of the dream? What do we need to know? So I want to look at that a little bit today as far as our our financial situation. Do we need to buckle down and be prepared, or what does it look like over the next, let's say, 3 months? What do our finances look like over the next 3 months? I do see a roller coaster here. So I feel like he's not done playing his tariff. Let's do tariffs. Okay, I'm gonna hold. Oh, he said he's holding off for 90 days, right? He's putting them on pause for 90 days. So maybe we need to look at what happens at 90, what's going to happen after 90 days. I also want to look at his ridiculous, horrific plan to shoot missiles into Mexico. But let's start with our financial situation. Let's look at it for the next 3 months, and then after 3 months, what do we need to, how do we need to, I would just buckle up anyways, just because he's so like this, and they're showing me a roller coaster. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pause real quick, and I'm going to throw down on the financial SIDG. Hold on. All right, let's take a look. And the decks I'm using, just in case, I have Awakened Tarot and Visions in the Liminal Space. Okay, so those are the two decks right now that I'm using. All right, so we're looking at, kind of what we're going to experience over the next 90 days, 3 months. And it's more of what he's doing. It's pretty clear. Here he is. That he's our scammer, our deceitful cheater, theft, thievery. That's all he's trying to do. He's not alone, though. Okay, you have this going on right next in combination with that. He's not alone. This is like a planned thing. So we think, what is he losing his mind? And he may be, but he's not. And I do believe there's that's a whole nother reading, but I do see decline mentally. However, since he's doing this is a team effort. He's doing exactly what is planned. This tariff thing, bringing the market, all the things. It's a planned thing. And on the other side of them is chaos. So that's what we're looking at. Yeah. planned chaos, and thievery. However, in this spread, we are the people, are the indicator card or whatever. And I picked us as the high priest. We're the high priestess. Okay. And we're above this. So that's positive. Okay. We are on top of this. It's not on top of us. And beside us, we have the star and the King of Wands. So uh, we're aware of this. We're aware of the scamming. We're energetically, we are, you know, uh, being creative, taking and trying to remain optimistic. And you have that star on that other side, and bringing in, hopeful and optimistic that something's got to give, but also that the universe has our highest and best in mind. If we, with this high priestess energy too, even though I know I just chose the card, but it chose where to land, and it is above everything. And so this is what we have behind us. We have millions of people that are 100% in solidarity. We had over 5 million show up in the protest. Over 5 million. So know that those are the people who were able to get down to the streets and walk and do the things. And there's many who couldn't go. And so know that that number is much more than that even. I would a lot more, and growing stronger every day. So I feel like we're being energized to take action because of their stealing from us. So again, it doesn't feel good as we're going through this, and the little ups and downs are hard, but you have at the end, you also have this combination where people come together. That Two of Cups, the Five of Wands, where we come together to stop this, standing together. So the beginning of this reading starts out with the star, and it ends with it leaves with the Two of Cups here in this spread. Again, we are on top of anything that's taking place here. So, that's that makes me feel good in that we will continually unite against this horrible, thieving, corrupt coup. And this is part of the coup, is doing this purposely, right? And we will unite and come together. We are not happy with what they're doing, and we see it, and we again we are going to birth a plan against it, come together, and stop it. I just feel that way. And the card on the bottom of the deck came out as the Two of Wands, and so yeah, making plans we're taking back our future. We're taking back our future, is my feeling with that. Okay, so then I threw these other cards, the visions in the liminal space cards. And so I feel like it was just extra for us to know. Spirit wants us to kind of pay attention and know, again, with that star card starting us off, we have Sky Daddy over here starting us off. And holding on to one another. Hold on to one another, help each other, love your neighbors, what I say, and that kind of, it's a blanket for, loving one another. Lead with love, pay attention, And the card that came out, it says, believe nothing that you hear and only half of what you see. I've gotten this many times in regard to what is happening. This message started coming in before he even got into office. We knew that he had won or whatever. And it was very clear. Don't believe what you have to really pause and research everything because not everything, it's, again, believe nothing that you hear. And then you have this quiet desperation, and that's what brings me into um, loving your neighbor. But what I'm seeing with this, actually, when I step into the energy of it, I feel like this is 45, F45. I feel like something's going on there. You know that they're trying to rewrite history. We see that happening. They're taking out all the black and brown and women and all that from all the the Smithsonian situation, and then they just took out Harriet Tubman. I mean, all the things. So they're trying to wipe that out, and all the places because we've been talking about it, and it's out there. They're trying to rewrite history, um, and people are gonna, the tub is getting hot, and we talk about that a lot. Uh, about how this is like a toad sitting in water that's coming to a boil, doesn't know it's boiling till it's too late, right? But I have the shadows. Uh, this says, until the day breaks and the shadows flee away. I do feel that people are going to be leaving. He has a lot of followers, right? I feel like some of the followers will leave before they're boiled up. It's a little too late right now because some of them lost everything in their 401ks, and they're losing their Medicaid and all the things. So, but again, there's hope for the future. Never stop hoping for the future. That's what I'm seeing there. Anything else that you want to tell us here? Yeah, just more of the same, more of they're trying to create chaos, and still it's all a coup, all about stealing, all about this. Okay, so what do we want to look at next? Feel like what did we want to look at next? Shoot, let me pause. I have to find my brain. Hold on. I remember. So we wanted to look at after. What does it look like after the 90 days? What is that going to look like? Because he says 90 days or whatever. And that puts us in. So we are in uh, May, April, May, June. Okay, so that'll put us into July. So let's take a look at that. All right, so let's take a look at our July. Right? Yeah, July. And it looks like we start off a little bit feeling like the Five of Pentacles with all the nonsense and the this and that. So it's important, again, if we're prepared and we do what we can to kind of, prepare for that, it does get better. All right, so that's just the beginning, because then right after that, it looks like we have the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands coming right in that energy, which is beautiful. So you have some confidence and new beginnings happening here. I know that this is kind of the beginning of it, but yeah, why is it doing that? There we go. So yeah, um, we're coming out of this, but there's new beginnings. There's some action, there's some creative, there's something that comes in there, powerful, there, to make a shift there at that time. Um, whether it's a person or everybody in general, something is going to shift by July. And then we're looking at this. We have a kind of a restoration um, happening here. Uh, taking inventory, what do we need to do? But we're in a good, look at us in that we're in a good space as a whole, which is positive. And then more to come as the month goes on. You have that Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. So again, you have something new coming in there, new stability of some sort. And the hardship shifts, it feels there. Okay. Now, yeah, I feel, yeah, that there's a lot of connections here with uniting and that kind of feel to it. But July looks, by July, it looks good. It's feeling good. Now, I thought this was interesting. I threw these cards. Um, it's like, we got to get rid of this. I do feel that we're going to see a lot more people protesting. And this reminded me of that. It's just kind of like the carry your weather balloon and getting rid of the parasite. So it reminded me of that, but I do feel we're going to see more of that. And that's part of that coming together and really, we have a reckoning, a fucking. And I thought that was interesting. The X marks the spot. I feel that's interesting as well. I'm curious to know what you guys think when you see these oracle cards. These are ones that you can just kind of, what do you feel like they might be saying? But I do feel that, that's a dumpster fire and you have X marks the spot or whatever. So I feel like with this showing that, we're really uniting and coming together and making our voices heard, that they're coming to a reckoning. Okay. So it's important there. All right. I feel like I covered that. Now let me think just one more moment. Let me find my brain. Hold on. You guys, I did not sleep well last night, I so that's why I have to keep looking for my brain. I do want to read on this missile thing. Is he really gonna do this missile thing? So that's what I will do next. Um, is read on that. He's been talking about that since the first time in office. He wanted to do that. And he said the first time he was in office, he had said, They won't even know where it's coming from. Okay. Okay. Oh, I forgot on the last reading, this was the card on the bottom. So good news. Good news coming in July. We like that. So, all right. So let's read on the missile thing and see if he's gonna, what he's gonna, because he doesn't have people to stop him this time. Like last time he had, the generals and all that. They're like, no, we're not doing that. But now he doesn't have, that's why he's stacked it. So they would do what he wants to do. Breathe. I feel like JD and all them they're setting this up to really, why would they go along with this madness? Let's read. I'm going to throw cards. Okay. According to this reading, it looks like it's going to be paused because, I mean, I see it being paused. It's, I know that even though he has his team with him, I'm not seeing his team here. I feel like it's going to be stopped somehow. But here you have the Four of Swords, and that's a pause. That's a pause card. And combined with the cosmic fuckery, like this is ridiculousness. It's just absolutely 100% ridiculousness. You know what I mean? To do this. So I feel like it's just a crazy thing he's just saying, like he keeps 107% tariff on China. It's one of those things, even though he keeps saying it. He's trying to present a certain way. He's trying to look a certain way. And there you have the King of Pentacles, and it says, be groovy, man. So I feel like he's just trying to present a certain way, but I do feel it's going to be stopped. It will be stopped. I have the Death card again. So a lot of no's, a lot of stops. And that parasite, he's just that parasite. He is, for entertainment purposes only. And then as we look for the future, and we have a lot of people who are like, no, no, no. And so the outcome of this is you have the Three of Wands, and life is meaningful, life is beautiful. Like maybe they say, dude, you're if you just throw missiles in there, you're going to be killing moms and children and people who are not involved with who you're trying to target. But he just wants to look a certain way, right? He wants to be that, like he wants to have that stupid parade for $100 million, which people need. Why don't you spend that $100 million and give it to some people that need it right now? So again, we're like, no, 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 and taking action against, yeah. So there's no. So I don't think that's going to go through. All right, you guys. Love you. Thank you for hanging out for this deep dive on whatever we looked at. And we'll see you again. I do want to say thank you to my members who we hang out every week in a Zoom meetup, and we have become close friends, and especially during this time, how wonderful it is to have that community. So thank you, members, for that, as well as keeping the channel going. And also, thank you for everyone who donates. That is so nice. Thank you. Very grateful and appreciative. And thank you for subscribing too. Oh my goodness. Subscribers, thank you. That's wonderful. Let's get the numbers up. Love it. All right. Love you guys. See you next time.